Guys, if there's one thing I want you to understand, I want you to understand that the longer you wait to change and transform is the longer you will remain the same. Now, you have to comprehend and understand that fact. So, the longer you wait to change, the longer you'll remain the same. And the longer you remain the same, the more you'll stagnate and the more you'll depreciate and the more you'll accumulate losses through time because you refuse to look, confront, and accept the fact you are not what you want to be and neglect the responsibility to transform and become what you're supposed to be. Now, everyone has a fucking purpose on this planet. I don't give a fuck what the fuck you think. And the longer you wait to pursue that purpose, which is embodying your potential, which is founded in development, the longer you will remain the same and suffer in your iniquity. Now, this suffering isn't some torturous dungeon, medieval, type of torture. No. This is silent torment. This is a resistance field in your mind. And when it comes time to do some shit to change, this is where all the tension and the neglected responsibility of change seeps out as you wish to change, but you simply confine yourself in a field of resistance. This field of resistance is what you need to conquer and shatter. The longer you remain in this field of resistance, the longer you'll remain and stagnate. Everyone wants to be the best version of themselves until it comes down to conquering resistance. Conquering resistance is what makes you grow. If you really want it, you will conquer it. If you don't want it, you will fail to conquer, you will succumb, and you will remain the same and stagnant. Now, you have to understand that development is a constant pursuit. Most of you guys believe that you do one thing, and that's development. No. If you are not a completely different person in the same body, a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, you are failing at development. Development is not working out. Development is not counting the macros. Development is becoming who you need to be by doing the work and the habits which are a byproduct of high self-esteem, high worth cultivation, high quality fostering, high quality cultivation. Well, these simply reflect in your character which the best version of you would have. And so it's not the habits that create the development, it's the development that creates the habits. Because most of you guys believe that the habit of working out made you better, but it didn't. The development and the intention of why you worked out is what's going to dictate your development or not. So many people work out, yet they walk around mopey as fuck, addicted to porn and fucking bitches. People can do habits which are positive and still be a piece of shit. It's not the habits which make the development, it's the development of which makes the habits and the intention of why you are putting your energy into it. Because you have to understand that the byproduct of what you create is rooted in the seed of intention. Every action you have and every action you do is rooted in the seed of intention. When you intend to develop and you go pursue your workout with that energy, you will realize that you are going to be a fucking savage. When you use that intention and fuse it to cope with your ego, well, you're gonna be a fucking bitch. You're not gonna do the best you can, you're not gonna maximize yourself, and you're not gonna conquer life. You're simply just gonna be fueling this fucking balloon with energy, which is just going to make you stagnate even longer and harder because you refuse to bust open and burst the bubble of which you exist. Most of you guys will forever tremble in folly and fall to your own pestilence because you refuse to confront reality and become who the fuck you need to be, which is definitely not that bitch in a fucking mirror. You are not who you are supposed to be, and it's that fucking straight up. Until you can digest and actually metabolize that as a fact, you will remain the same because your ego will not allow itself to transform into something renewed. Most of you guys are so on defensive offense for your ego, it's fucking ridiculous. We tell you you're fat and now I'm a bad person, but in reality you are such a bad person you allowed yourself to get to that state. You have to understand your body is your fucking report card. How do you show up to life? What respect do you have for yourself? Do you hold yourself accountable and with integrity? Again, reflective of the high qualities of which you will receive through the habits pursuing your development. The development is not the habits. The habits are not the development. The development is in the habits. And so most of you guys will forever confuse that. You hit the workout, you count the macros, you read the books, but you're still the same bitch with a little bit of metaphysical material. The development is the intention of embodying who the fuck you need to be. The intention is becoming and maximizing and truly becoming the best version of you every fucking day you stack your win. Most of you guys will forever fall short because you thought the habits was the development, when all reality was the development which sustained the habit. You have to understand that if these habits were just habits which created results, well, you know, if these habits created the development, everyone would be developed. But we have primates which walk around with a nice body. We have primates that walk around with a whole bunch of intellectual knowledge accumulated from books with no real experience. You have to understand that developing yourself is to curate a specific experience, the experience of reality of which you would want to live. Most of you guys don't even like the life you live. You don't even appreciate your life. It's because what you are living is not what the fuck you're supposed to be, and it's not what the fuck you're worth. What the fuck you're worth is waking up every fucking day creating what the fuck you intend to create. Until then, you will suffer forever and reverberate this pandemonium state of consciousness as every day you question yourself if this was enough or if you're just wasting your life, as you spiral into chaos because you couldn't understand or fathom that if you wanted a better life, you have to develop into the embodiment of the qualities which would reflect that reality. See, so many of you have desires and so many of you have goals, but then you leave them on standby and you let them disintegrate in your stagnation. You allow these goals, these dreams to decay as you fall asleep and think about it, and then you go out into reality and do nothing to conquest and to conquer. This is why you folly. Most of you guys will forever have to excuse yourself and project your limit onto others because you know that deep down you betrayed yourself when it came down to conquering and mastering reality. You're either a master of self or you're a coward. Cowards will always have some way to feel about the warrior because the coward wants to be the warrior, but since the warrior reflects his iniquity, he projects that outwardly because the coward cannot face the fact he's a fucking coward. The coward knows he's a coward, but he cannot face that fact because to face the fact you're a coward is to deprive a man from his very essence. To know that he is powerless in all endeavors, to know that he is a coward is so shameful that they rather torment the person who reflects them than truly reflect on themselves. It's a level of intellectual prowess you only cultivate through the experience of development. Development is creating the experience of reality you want because you developing yourself is also simultaneously developing reality because your state will reflect outward. You are a projection of your psyche. From the way you express yourself to the way you behave to everything about you is simply a projection of your internal world. When your internal world is empty, you will seek sensations in the external to fulfill the emptiness within you, which do nothing but leave you emptier than before. I've never seen a weed addict become fulfilled after the high was gone. I never seen a sex addict or a porn addict be fulfilled after the sensation was gone. And so you have to actually question your reality and realize that you are entrapping yourself in something you don't want to be in, which is siphoning your life force, which could have been channeled into the development of self. Every day you have the power, and every day I will make the video repeating the same message in a different variety of forms for you to comprehend from every metric. It's that fucking simple. Peace!